morning to all of you. Chairman of Export Promotion Center, Mr. K. Tirupati Raya, distinguished member of the Export Promotion Center, President of Tamil Nadu Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. S. Vilu, members of the Tamil Nadu Chamber of Commerce and Industry, members of the Tamil Nadu Chamber Foundation, Ambassador of Peru, Mr. Javier Paulinich, Indonesia Trade Promotion Center, Madam Herlina Ermen, students that are participate today, ladies and gentlemen, and Madam too. It is a pleasure for me to address you as Ambassador of El Salvador to India. I thank the Export Promotion Center, especially to Mr. K. Tirupati Rajan and to all the people involved in the organization of this important event to invite us to participate, share this space with my fellow colleagues and talk a little bit about my country. It is utmost important to have spaces like this summit, which make possible to promote the opportunity available in El Salvador for companies wishing to expand their investment and businesses, given that we are in a world giving a growing demand for services and products. With this type of event, we seek to increase the commercial exchange between El Salvador and India. After the recent pandemic that hit all nations, the Salvadorian government is committed to the recovery of our economy, and it is implementation measures that contribute to do it. And it's thanks to this action which has an exponential economic growth. El Salvador has an economy that seeks to increase, and that is why it can represent a good opportunity for Indian entrepreneurs seeking to expand their business in the region with favorable conditions to ensure their capital. We have a solid political and economical environment which enable investments in different industries, such as MRO, logistics and distribution of goods, call center, renewable energy development, and industrial processing, among others. Thanks to the dollarization, our nation has been able to maintain a stable economy, with one of the lowest inflation rates in the region, despite the complications that have arisen worldwide. A business model that can be an excellent alternative to be implemented in Salvadorian territory is a hub which with products can be distributed not only to the rest of the countries in the Central American region, but also to Mexico, the United States, and other which El Salvador has free trade agreement. It is important to emphasize that when making an investment in El Salvador, we should not only think of a market of 6 million people, but also includes the rest of our neighborhood countries. So we will be talking about more than 5 million, making a total of 1 billion with the rest of our trading partners. We have cases in Indian entrepreneurs that have ventured with their investment and have created successful company which can testify to the facilities that have been granted to them through tax incentives for the Salvadorian legislation, among which I can mention Coupling Point, Sci-Med Laboratories, AOM Metals, and a restaurant called Shawat. We are also developing large-scale projects such as the Pacific Airport, which seeks to expand national airport services and create a logistics center in the eastern part of the country. Another project that goes hand in hand with the airport is the shipyard, which was born from the lack of ship platform along the Pacific coast of the American continent that are dedicated to the repair and the maintaining of boats, ships and cruise ships, etc. We know that around 5,000 boats transit through the Salvadorian maritime area, which could supplement any services without the need to go to other shipyards, so making it possible to lower cost and service time. We are aware of the importance of foreign direct investment and the impact it represents for our population, which is why we have been recognized by the Financial Times FDI Intelligent Investments magazine as the country with the less complexity to do businesses in Latin America. Once again, I would like to thank the Export Promotion Center for being a strategic ally for my country and for facilitating this type of a space to exhibit, promote, and create interest in Indian companies that are looking to expand their operation globally, especially in El Salvador, which is in the heart of the Americas. I would like to make a small presentation about the capital of El Salvador is San Salvador. We have a population of 6.3 million, now almost 6.7 million. That's the reason because I say that if you are interested to make business in El Salvador, don't think in a small population, seeing that we have our neighbors, so you are talking about 50 million of people, or you can ask the rest of the countries that we have free agreements like the United States and Mexico and others. So our language is the Spanish, and our GDP per capita is $4,030 US. And GDP by billions is 28.73. I'm going to mention one of the reasons to invest in El Salvador. Proximity to key markets. Yeah. We are in the middle of the Americas. Yeah? If you see the map, we are in the center of the Central America countries, nearby Mexico, the United States, and even Peru. This map shows us we have 35 direct routes of origin and destination. And for example, from the port of Ajutla, if you send a ship, you will be in California in 5.5 days, your mercancy. Yeah? If you go to Peru, 3.5 days. So the distance is very short for us if you establish a hub in El Salvador. We offer preferential access to a potential market of approximately 1.2 billion consumers in 42 countries around the world. You can see that we have agreements with Mexico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Panama, United States, in Europe, all Europe, in South Korea. We are a platform to explore diversity of goods. Number one for us is 39 of our exportation goods is textiles and apparel. 19 agro-industry, food and beverage. 9% is plastic and rubber. 7% is chemical products. 7% electronics and auto parts. 5% metal mechanics. 6% paper products. 5% mineral products. 3% others. We export goods from El Salvador to India: wood, charcoal, textile fibers, paper yarn and paper fabrics, aluminum, cast iron, iron and steel. And we export goods from India to El Salvador: pharmaceutical products, plastic and manufacture, synthetic fibers, garment and accessories, motor vehicles, bikes, tractor and accessories, and matches. As I said, we export to the United States principal textiles, t-shirts, sweaters, pullovers, electrical capacitors. In Central America and all the countries of the Caribbean too, toilet paper in rolls, plastic preforms, bottles, medicaments, non-alcoholic drinks. In Europe, We export principally to Germany, Spain, and Italy, herbicide, prepared preserved seafood, coffee, and sugar. To South America, our Peru is #1, Ecuador, and Brazil. Medium oils and preparation, sugar, and soft products of aluminum. And in Asia, we export to China, South Korea, China, even to India. No? But it's cane sugar, coffee, and soft products of aluminum. Our service has reached international recognition. #1, travel, manufacturing services, transportation, maintenance and repair, information and communication technologies, financial and insurance services, and others. We stand out for being a cost-competitive country to set up and operate a business in the region. As I say in my presentation, the Financial Times, FDI Intelligence Investment Magazine, has ranked El Salvador as the most cost-effective location in the Americas. Cost-efficient location. You can see that that's a competitive labor cost. Salary comparison with the countries of Central America, we are #2. In comparison of benefits, we are #1. Many prestigious multinational companies have chosen to invest in El Salvador. For example, a company from South Korea, Japan, China, Australia, Europe, from Peru to the United States, Mexico, even from Brazil and Uruguay. Easy to do doing business in El Salvador, because we have the US dollar as legal currency, and recently the Bitcoin too. Equal treatment to foreign investors, access to local financial, legal stability for investment, freedom to transfer funds abroad. We offer attractive tax incentives for investors, free trade laws, zone laws, international service law, renewable energy incentives law, law of legal stability for investment. We have a modern infrastructure in El Salvador, #1 in Central America and #2 in Central America in infrastructure, and in road connectivity we are #1. You can see the map of El Salvador. This is we have the international airport in this part, and the new airport, Port of La Unión, and this is the port of Acajutla. So we connect from here to California, all the world, and to the other side, because this is Pacific side. For the Atlantic, we use the ports of Honduras and Guatemala. Investment opportunity that could be interesting for you. Tourism. Tourism, investment opportunities, hotels, convention centers, theme parks and restaurants, digital technology and business processes, contact centers, business processing services, IT services, logistics center for supplying extra-regional, intra-regional, and domestic trade, product distribution service, package consolidation service with a variety of products, energy, power supply generation for renewable resources, hydroelectric, geothermal, wind, solar, biomass, and biogas, light manufacturing, electronic components, auto parts, plastics, textiles and apparel, manufacture of yarn and fabrics, manufacture of high value turnover garments, manufacture of simple transformation garments. Agribusiness, invest opportunity, processes foods, aquaculture, ornamental plants, crops. I hope this small presentation can give us a small idea, complete of the country of El Salvador, because we are a good opportunity to invest and make business. Thank you so much for your time and to be here.